Yes.
Yeah, it would be the original version here in this
Yes.
channel, and some of our colleagues will transfer to the Ukrainian channel. So please,
Perfect.
yeah.
Thank you.
So finally,
So
we have met
finally,
each
I'm here
other.
with you.
Yeah.
Should I just begin, Katarina, or
Yes, please. I
yeah,
present you
you
right
already
now
presented me?
our colleagues. Yeah, and so now
Hmm.
the floor is yours.
And can you share screen with me if I want to show a little PowerPoint?
Yes, please. I will give you right now.
Hmm.
Now you can share.
Thank you. Okay, dear friends, thank you so much for having patience with me. I think I'm not the best example of how to take it easy. Today I somehow mixed up the time, so I thought I was in good time, and suddenly I understood that I misunderstood time. So I really apologize a lot. And
Yeah.
now I'm here with you, and I hope we can spend some good
Dear
time
Rebecca,
together. Yeah,
I'd like to add something because now you are a good example how you can feel calm for yourself, get so strong. So, and I share with colleagues that you now implement the breath work for yourself. So
I did. I did.
now we can see how it
Mm.
works, even in this occasion.
Yeah. First of all, you need to, not to be too hard on yourself, and then breathe. So, so that was what I was
Nice.
doing in the train. It's okay, it will be okay. So I will just share a little bit with you about my story. Why do I work with breathwork? What was my road to this work? And then I'll share with you a little. Actually, and I think most of us are when we are psychotherapists, we learn while we work. So we start somewhere and then we learn some methods and then we integrate and then we find out that there are some things that we miss and then we take more education, more courses, and then we integrate. And that is the travel, I think, of every and very important travel to be aware of because we will have something that we can work on all life to become the most wise therapists in the end. So now I'll see if I can find out how to share with you. I just prepared uh, a few slides for you because the most important is actually to oh, that was not the right one. The most important is to share with you also the practice. Um, let me see, let me see. This one, it must be. Mhm. Okay, so this fantastic setup Katarina made with this title, Why and How Does Breathwork Work to expand the effect of psychotherapy. That's what I want to talk to you about. And a little about me first. I'm born here in Denmark in 1970. Um, I was born with in a family where my father was a Polish refugee, and my mother is Danish. So I grew up in a with both a Danish and a Polish family, And my father was born in 1960, no, 36 in Krakow, so he was a child during the war. And of course, he and his families carried many stories with them, and I think it's a reason also for me to be very. I have had this since I was a child. This curiosity towards family and what does family mean, and what and how do uh, and how do we work with all that is not being said, and how do you as a child try to figure out what is going on between your parents, and all these things was a part of my upbringing. When I chose my first career, I studied human geography and Eastern European studies at the university, and Russian language actually, because my father was very much against Russians. He had very bad experiences with Russians in his childhood, so for him, Russia was just no go. And as a child, I was curious about finding out what does that mean. So I think it was kind of my what do you say? Yeah, my way of trying to to do my uh, yeah, to work with my father to say, okay, I'll study Russian and check out what Russia is. So that was where I started. Also traveling in at that time Soviet Union, visiting also Ukraine and many other republics in the Soviet Union at that time. So I have this. I have a deep engagement for all the history of that area, for the good and for the bad. And when the invasion came in 22 in Ukraine, I felt very much connected to um, yeah, to this to what was happening with the Ukrainian people, and so I engaged also in being active in supporting our colleagues in Ukraine at this time. That's just a little bit about my background. So I have this East European family interest. I worked many years as a project leader and leader in the social sector, doing all kind of projects, working with people. And on that, in 2010, I decided to study to become a family therapist. And so I did for 4 years, finished in 2015. I am a experienced, experimental psychotherapist, family psychotherapist, existential background. And when I was working with families, I found out that there are so many things that you need to be aware of. There are so many dynamics. Those of you who are working as with families know how many things that you have to take care of when you are sitting with both parents and children and extended family. There's a lot of dynamics that you have to not be taken off. And I was taken many times by not finding my way, finding it hard to navigate. Um, and in 2016, I actually met a breath psychotherapist. And through this work, I found out, oh, okay, the most important thing is actually to be with yourself and to be able, and the breath can help you a lot to stay with you and to be present with whoever you are working with. So it was for me a big, when I finished my psychotherapy studies, I found myself being extremely hard work all the time, trying to be good and trying to figure out. And the breath work kind of helped me to sit back in the chair and accept that the most important thing for me was to actually be aware, be there. That was it was not so important what I did or uh, all my methods, but my awareness, my being was, and my calmness actually was the most important part of getting in contact with the families. So that's so I started on a breathwork course and became a breathwork therapist also in 2022. Right now, as you also know, I'm working with psychotherapists. I'm working in the secretariat of the Danish Association for Psychotherapists. So I work a lot with people who are psychotherapists, and I also use breath work in my organizational work, because in everywhere where people are, there are nerve systems that either needs to be relaxed or needs to be activated. So that was just a little bit about me. Then I will tell you a little bit about the theory behind that exact breathwork technique that I learned. And I'll tell you a little bit about my key learnings about the function and the power of the breath. I met Binnie A. Dansby. She is an American breath worker. She was born in, she is now 83 or 4 or something like that, but she started working with breath work when she was in the early 70s in California. She started working with birth, giving birth to children. She was what do you call it? I don't remember what is the name. Yeah, women who helps giving birth to children. She found out and made her own theory about the function of the breath, which in my opinion, and also as a family therapist, made a lot of sense to me, because what she says is that it all starts here. It all starts inside of the womb of the mother. We all started our lives inside another person, being a part of another person's nerve system, being a part of another person's breath, another person's blood. So we are born into connectedness, actually. And what her theory is that that we lie there inside of our mother's womb, we are also affected by the sensations of the mother during the months that we are inside of her. So it's important actually also to know a little bit about how does mother feel during pregnancy, and what kind of sensations did she have, and which one, because small babies, they are only sensations. Which one could also be a part of their nerve system when they come out? And then she talks about when the child gets born, we get out of our mother's womb and we take our first breath. The lungs unfolds out. The child gets the first experience of the breath, and it is a very important function we have here. We can blow up our lungs, and in that moment we also activate our nerve system in all senses. And so the next things that happened is that we are alone. From being very connected to our mother, we are suddenly out there, somebody cuts off the navel string, and we are somehow flying there as a small baby. And it's extremely, we all know that from developmental psychology and from attachment psychology, then it's so important the first year, the first time, the first 1, 2 years for a child to be regulated, because babies are mostly nerve systems and sensations. They don't have a language. They just sit there and wait for the mother to see them, or the father, or the surroundings to meet their needs, to be seen. And the biggest existential fear we have at that time is, I'm alone. I will die. If nobody takes care of me when I come out, I will die. The fear of being abandoned is inside of you. The fear of separation. You were just separated from your mother, cut off, left alone, and now you have to learn to live alone, but also to find out how to interact with your surroundings, with your relations. And the feeling of fear is so threatening. So the only thing you want is to get away from it, because it's deadly serious for babies and also for children. So that is where her theory starts. It is from the very beginning that now our nerve system is activated, and our nerve system is somehow, we have these three parts of our brain where the nerve system cooperates with. So we have our what do you call it? The old brain, that reacts to fear very quickly with flying or freezing or dying, lying dead. And so we know that this is the react system we have inside of us, even though we are very developed people. When I sat in the train and found out I was late, this was the first, I could feel my nervous system at once. Ching! Shit, I did something wrong. Maybe they will kill me, and then when we get more aware of controlling this sympathetic system, we have the sympathetic nerve system that make us react, which is really good, because then we can run away from danger, and we can take care of many things, and we can build up our energy very quickly. That's the good side. The bad side is, as we know nowadays, that most people's autonomic system is too much under pressure, because we are getting impulses all the time, and that is where we, with the breath, as you know, probably from your working with meditation or yoga or whatever, we try to calm our system down with the breath. So we take deep breaths, get it down to the system, down to the feet, and we get relaxed in that sense. That is also very helpful when we are able to do that, to work with to calm ourselves down. I think it's one of the problems we see nowadays in the world, that many young people, their nervous system is all the fear and because there are too many informations, there are too much input, there are too many things that can arouse your system. So working with really calming that system down is key, very important. Then we also have our limbic compass, which is where we have our feelings. Most people take very much care of their feelings. You know, they will. This is the very vulnerable place we have in the front of our chest, opening up to the world. We can very easily get attacked in this area. So most people, they have trained very hard to take care of their limbic system, their feeling system, the front of their body. We are very quick to take care of it. And that's where the breathwork comes in, but that will be the next step. And then at the last, we have our cognitive abilities that we can think, we can use our brains, and we can use our brains also to control our nerve system. This is the last slide, then I will go back to see you all again. So what we have the sympathetic nerve system, the nerve system where we get activated, get afraid, get going, get activated in somehow, and sometimes we need to slow that down. And then we have the parasympathetic nerve system, which is the ability to slow it down with the breath. But we can use the breath to slow our breath down, but we can also use the breath to activate ourselves. And the last part is what this technique of breathwork is about. Now I've been talking a lot. Do you have any questions or any comments or anything before I go on with a little more practical? Because then it will be nice to hear a few voices in here if you have something that why is that? And does it make sense what I say? Does it?
Everything is interesting. Please continue.
Okay. Okay, because I can see that I have 90 people in the room, and it's always interesting to know, does it sound reasonable what I say? Do you recognize it? Do you? Yeah. Olga?
Olga.
Mhm.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So yes, of course, everything is reasonable for me. I'm psychology student now, so I really appreciate what you're doing now for us. And my question is, so you say, so with help our prefrontal core, with our cognitive system, we are able to control two other system, right? Our limbic and our fears. Does it really work?
we we need our brain. We need our brain to control our systems. That is, if we didn't have any brain, we would be like babies, pure sensation. So we build up in the brain the ability to survive actually, and to read other people and to decide how does the world look like and so on. But the problem is that, or not the problem, the good story or the good news is that our brain is very we can move it all life through. So when we are children, we get afraid and we build up the idea that something is dangerous, or that some relations are dangerous, or that mother is not safe, or father is not safe, or we could have all kinds of thoughts about the world. And when we grow up, we get more and more trained. And if we don't train our brain, if we think that, okay, that's the truth, what came up when we were children, and this is the way that I should live my whole life. So what we do as psychotherapists is also to help people massage their brains into, maybe there could be other ways or directions, but we use our brains mostly to understand it. But we can use also our body the other way around to inform our brain. So in my opinion, our body works together all the time. If we listen to the body, it has important information to the brain. But most people don't listen. They cut off here and they have decided something. And then they live their life like this. And when they start working with their sensations or their body, it can be very frightening because it's also showing a different perspective to life that could be dangerous, you know. And what we do with the breath is that we also help massage our limbic system and the whole, especially with the kind of breath work that I work with called source breath work. Source as being the source of our life is because if we are willing to feel what we are feeling, then we are actually also able to change many things. But if we are not, if it's cut off, then there's no hope. So we have to actually to be able to work as a psychotherapist on all levels, in my opinion. Yeah. So what we do, maybe I should just continue to tell you what we do in this kind of breath work, and I will also invite you to try it today with me, is that in some sense, we go down with the breath and we look for information in our bodies. Our bodies are, as Binny, my teacher, says, our communication device. We have a lot of information in our bodies, and if we listen to it, we can use it. And a way that we can work with getting in contact to ourselves quite quickly is also with the breath. You probably also know all this, that, okay, you have a client, you have to sit down and you have to breathe and stay calm and be with yourself and so on. But this kind of breath work that I will introduce you to, it's a breath work that actually activates the sympathetic system, because sometimes we also need to activate ourselves in order to really feel what's going on. And that, in my opinion, was new when I met this kind of work. It was a new way of thinking, that you could also really activate yourself. You don't have to calm yourself down always. It can also be really helpful to be able to activate yourself. So with this being said, I will invite you to try this kind of breath work with me. You need to sit well. You need to sit in a good position with your feet on the floor. And unfortunately, Zoom doesn't really allow you to hear when I breathe, as far as I know. You can't hear that, can you? You can't hear that I'm breathing, right?
No.
No. That's the problem with Zoom. But what you do is that you sit in a good position. Take care that you have your feet on the ground, that you have some support for your back. And instead of, as we usually do, breathe through the nose and down to your stomach, you breathe with an open mouth. And you breathe in the upper part of your chest. For most people, it's really strange in the beginning, and you can feel like you get a little thirsty as well. But you have to relax your jaws. And then you breathe in your breath, and breathe out again. Yes, and you will feel like you will feel like yeah, and it's okay, it's fine. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And while you're doing this, you can close your eyes if that's nice for you. The most important is that you really feel your chest. And in your chest, you feel your lungs and your heart. And you know that this area is access to energy, and to love. So I will invite you to sit quietly and just breathe in and out through your mouth. And I will give you a small navigation through your body. So we start down in your feet. And you imagine that you take all your air and you take it all the way out to your toes. And you take it all the way down to your feet, the under seat of your feet. And you feel how you're connected to the ground. Your feet are connected to the universe, to the earth that we live on. It's connected to all human beings and all animals living on this earth. You take the energy down to your ankles, to your under part of your legs, to your knees, Take the breath all the way down to your knees. And imagine that it's energy that you give your body now. Breathe down to the over part of your legs. To the seat where you're sitting. Keep breathing. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. And send gratitude to your legs, all the way from the seat and all the way down to your feet. Thank your legs for all you did for me today. Taking me around, getting me out of bed. Thank you for being there with me. Yeah. And continue to take the breaths down to your stomach. Feel how you fill up your stomach with energy and oxygen. Your stomach and all your inner organs. This fantastic system that every day helps you with digesting your food. Our liver, our kidneys, all we have that functions completely with us doing nothing. The only thing we need to do is to give it oxygen and a little awareness. Yeah. Then feel the backside of your back. Feel how you are supported by the chair. Or if you don't have any support in your back right now, then imagine that two big warm hands hold your back right now. And breathe into the area of your back. Feel your lungs, how they are filling up with air. Air in and air out. Fantastic system that makes us alive. So now feel how the energy is coming all the way from the back of your back and all the way up to the end of your neck. Let the breath run around along your spine. Your spine being very important for the whole nerve system to be connected. So we are connected by this spine from the back from the lower side of the back and all the way up to the brains. And this spine is signaling every day. Without us knowing, it's taking us around. It's telling us all kind of things. It's asking our body to do things. The spine is our fantastic friend. So send a little gratitude with your breath all the way up the spine. And all the way up to your head. Feel how your head is feeling right now. How is your brain feeling right now? You can use your breath to investigate a little bit. How do you feel actually right now inside of your head? Are you relaxed? Are you full of thoughts? It's okay if there are thoughts, but just look at them and let them pass. How does your eyes feel? Are they relaxed in your eyeballs? Keep breathing and keep your mouth open. I know it's strange. But it is a direct connection and a quick connection also to give our body energy. So go back now to your chest. And to your heart space. And see yourself right now in your heart space. Look at this person standing there who is you. And listen to you. Who are you right now? What do you feel right now? What do you feel watching yourself from the outside? Is there something you want to express to yourself? Connect to yourself there for a little while and just listen with a deep, long breath in and a deep, long breath out. Is there something this person who is you want to say? And think about your relations around you right now. Is there some relations you need to say something to? Is there something you need to say to somebody? This is a way of really coming in contact with yourself. Is there some sensations in your body right now? Is there parts of your body you can feel more than others? And take your breath down to this area and listen. Listen to your heart and listen to your breath. Look at yourself in your heart again and say something appreciative to yourself. Appreciate yourself for taking care of yourself right now. This is your time. A small moment of peacefulness. You can breathe in peace into your system. And if you have some things in your body like uh, fear or anger or irritability or whatever you could have, you can breathe it out now. You can also breathe it out hardly if you need. If you have something, that you just want to get rid of. This is also a possibility. Stress or anxiety or whatever we can have in our bodies. We can use the breath to make it more fluid, to give it oxygen and to get it out. Get it out of our bodies. So this was a short demonstration of how the breath can also be used in a different way and as an activation of our limbic system. So I will invite you slowly, slowly to get back. To this room. What I learned from this kind of breath work myself is that it helps me get in contact quite quickly with myself in a way where I can take care of my own parts, bits and parts, which I think is one of the most important things as psychotherapists that we are able to. So this is how I use it. I use it mostly for myself in my practice. I have it with me as an awareness when I feel the nerve system of my client to feel should we activate something or should we calm down something. And the more I have trained this, the more easily I get in contact with, because we are so easily connected between us human beings, we are very quickly also to actually scan and feel another person's nerve system. And it's important to know what is my nerve system and what is their nerve system and how to work together to calm it down or to activate it. Yeah. Thank you for being with me on this little journey, and I'm open for if you want to share something how it was for you to try it or to be here with it, or was it strange? Was it, I could use it? I would love to hear from you.
I have several questions. Can I?
Yes.
Hello, Rebecca.
Hi.
Thank you very much for your time, for your experience, and for your knowledge, for your sharing. Two techniques questions. I don't know,
Mhm.
but important for me. I can breathe for two ways. Like I can breathe fulfilling my belly, and I can breathe fulfilling my chest. Which variant is more okay here?
Yeah. In this kind of breath work, the chest is where we go
Uh-huh.
because we want to activate. We want to activate our nerve system. We want to activate our feelings. If we have overactivated feelings, we want to calm it down, and then we go down to the belly.
Ah, wow.
Then we take the breath down in the belly, and then the system understands. Our parasympathetic system starts working. With deep breaths to the belly, it's the parasympathetic system. With this breath up here, that's when we are flying away from the tiger. It's the sympathetic system that we activate. And usually we don't need to activate that so much with our clients. But we know we need to understand that it's there and understand that it could be overactivated. If you have a very anxious person around you, you should work with getting down in your belly, and you can use your nerve system to mirror that. So if you have somebody who's like this, you can, by being there with your breath in the belly, you can calm down another person's breath system. If you have a client that is maybe in freeze or who is, underactivated or where you cannot feel them, then you can use your breath to start an activating process with the client. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't get if you use this breathing, yeah, like during your session with client? No, or yes?
No, I
No.
don't. I
Oh,
use it on my backside.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So, but if I have a client where I can feel, it's dead somehow, the energy is dead, then I can, with my own system, take my breath. I can also invite the client to feel their breath with me. But I think you need to be trained to do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think in the first hand for you, it could be about just being aware of this. What do I actually, because we do notice many things when we sit with a client.
Yeah.
And maybe, what is the nerve system of them and of me?
Thank you. I get it. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
that could be a kind of research practice. Your own researching in your own practice actually could be a good start, just to see, what do I actually sense? And is it the client system or my own? And how do they meet? And how do they dance? Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Olga?
Yeah, thank you so much. And for me, it was like, to breast with my mom's, it was like more deeper than to breast with my nose. It felt like breathing with nose is not enough, but breathing with mom's, it's like, yes, it is that it is. And just my body felt and said to me like, we're doing great, but sometimes you're pushing too hard. Maybe you could be a little bit easier to yourself, and just that how it was for me. And thank you.
This resonates very well with my own experience, that that getting in contact with yourself just for a moment and, and finding out, okay, sometimes I'm maybe trying too hard. And that's usually not so helpful in psychotherapy if the therapist is trying too much. It's actually sometimes better to sit on your hands and breathe and be there, really, for the contact. The contact is really the most important. Yeah, Bogdan.
Hi, Vibeke?
Vibeke, yes.
Vibeke. Nice seeing you and meeting you. This is my first session since I started mm, my positive psychotherapy course. I'm in
Mm,
my first year, and I'm very grateful for the technique you shared and guided us through. I did breath work before.
mm,
Types. This is a totally new tool for me that again I'm very grateful,
mm,
and it was extremely interesting to see how my body activates and how my diaphragm activated from the chest breathing, which I never did using this rhythm. So the rhythm, if I understood correctly, should be constant, not forced, not rushed, correct?
yes,
So
exactly.
I did,
Soft. Yeah.
yes, I did before with my mouth open sessions with fast-paced, which does activate other things and takes you to amazing realms. But this one, for me, helped me on my personal journey of connecting with my body. One of my homeworks that I am currently having for myself, from myself, is to connect with my body because I am exactly how you described, from neck down.
Mm,
There is no connection, and the messages that I received from myself were amazing. What I want to ask is it possible for us to get the instructions for what we experience now in written form as well?
mm,
And
yes.
second question, would it be advisable to use this in a, let's say, type of a ritual for solstice as a group activity
Um,
with follow-up discussions in the circle,
yeah.
led by me, the discussions, and maybe other therapists who will join.
It's Yes. It's two good questions. My experience is because when I started my training, we had Corona. So from being together, learning breathwork in the room, suddenly I was put on Zoom, and learned that okay, it's possible actually that you can do it. You can even feel connected with the group, which
Yeah,
is also when we are together in a room, which is much better. I hope we will be able to do that one day because then we can really hear, then it's like being in an ocean or something. You can hear the sound of all these breaths. And it's like being in your mother's womb, and it's just calm, and the rhythm and so on. I will really hope that we can do that one day together. But until then, it's easy to do it online, as you can see. It's possible. The reason why I'm here is that I was having some colleagues from Ukraine in Denmark last summer, and we have had a practice every Sunday for a while during the winter to meet and breathe together. And
yeah.
it's actually quite easy, it doesn't take a lot. It just takes that you show up and that you breathe and that somebody takes the responsibility of the guidance, actually. Then you can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for confirming this because I don't want to go into stuff that are not um, proper for group settings. But for
Yeah.
me, it seems like the things I'm already doing in using spiritual guidance and things like that. So as the solstice will be in exactly 1 month from now, I am organizing something and I want to include this. So thank
Yes.
you. I'm waiting for the written instructions so
Yes.
I can prepare for it. Thank you very
And
much.
about your question about is there something in writing? It's I know that Bini is working on a book uh,
Mm,
describing the whole system that she herself, she built up over decades, training with people and because there's also a version of this where you are in hot water. So we also have 2-3 times a year a meetup where we are in hot water, which is even more fantastic. Yeah.
where?
Yeah.
I want to
Yes.
come
Yes.
there.
I can share some contacts
Mm,
with Katarina, and then you
mm.
can find your way maybe to find sources of interest. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I have to follow up if how far she is with this book, because she is so much engaged in practice. That's always the problem, that getting time to write is
Mhm. I know.
yeah.
And one more thing, if you want, at the end of this call, I can show you how to disable on the microphone so the breath can be heard.
Really.
Yes, from Zoom. Or because I
Woohoo!
don't want to take everyone's time now, but I
Uh-huh.
can show at the
Ah,
end.
I want to learn that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So, any other comments, experiences?
I think the most part of our audience now in under the impressions. So, like me also, it's really was amazing, like always, Vibeke. And I had this kind of experience before with you, and all my cells recognize this condition and would like to go deeper in this process. So. Thank you so much. And this kind of recovering energy launched
Yeah. Yeah.
by you. Mhm.
It is
And
very much of
you
taking care
have
of
this
yourself.
kind of skills to gain this process anywhere when you are where you are actually. So thank you so much for
Yeah, you're
this
welcome. Breath.
retreatment.
We carry our breath with us all the time, so it's something we can. I'm in a train, in a wherever you
Yeah.
can you can be in contact with your breath. But you have to train it with yourself too.
Yes, yes. It's a um, very important and valuable tool for
Mm,
all of us, like a practitioners and who work with people, and also need to reconnect to to ourselves
yeah,
firstly. So to prevent the burnout and
exactly,
other
exactly.
things. Yes, yes.
And actually also to what I think is for me is really it's inspiring to in the psychotherapeutic work, that to actually look at this with curiosity, and what what does my system do now, and what does there's
Mhm.
a lot of things to just to maybe make small notes about when you have a client, to say, oh, what did my nerve system do, and why maybe. And
How they fit to each other, yeah.
there's so much to learn in that yeah,
Yeah.
in our relationships.
The new level of observation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have
New
a lot
life
to
hack.
look at. Yes.
Yeah, great.
Okay, but
Thank you once
again,
again.
thank you very much for being for waiting for me. I'm really embarrassed that you had to
It
sit here,
was
but I hope it was
very
worth waiting
important
for.
for us, actually, you know. And
So yeah.
maybe any questions, some feedbacks, who wants to add something, please.
then it's last chance.
Mhm. But stay in the same wave to be in contact with yourself.
Yes. All the way from the Pacific.
Oh,
Oh, fantastic. In Oceania. Wow. Fantastic. Samoa. There's a long way to Samoa from here.
physically, but with Breathwork, it's very close. Yeah.
It's fantastic to be able to connect like this. So Zoom is really helpful.
Yes. Actually, thank you very much for all of you, our dear participants, because it was really a great experience for all of us to connect with the group, the whole of group. Yeah. And like the one colleague said, that it's really make the energy stronger to
Yes.
go deeper. Yeah,
Yes.
really.
Yeah. All right.
Vanya Baжилova, thank you. Mhm.
Thank you for coming, all of you, and sending you all my
Yeah,
warmest, loving feelings.
really.
Yeah.
Thank you
The
so
world
much.
needs it. The world needs us to send out
Yes,
all
yes.
our.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much,
Keep the
everybody.
statement, yeah.
I
Bravo.
stay and talk to Bogdan.
Just keep in touch and see you soon. Mhm.
Yes.
And we share
Thank you.
the record. We make a record for this event, so we share it with you, and you will um, go through this
Find out.
experience once again.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Waiting for the recording as well.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, dears.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
good to see all those I knew. I have some friends there. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Thank you,
friends.
Katerina.
Yeah.
Lots
Thank
of
you.
friends out there.
Katerina, thank you.
Hi, Olga.
Yeah.